Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a KV-2R. It's the premium version of the famous KV-2 strong tank. And this one's located on the south spawn of Ghost Town, and it's under the command of Razor 14150. Battle started. Well, he's got the 152mm gun, which is capable of 910 alpha with the HE rounds, penetrating 86mm of armor, and he's got one round of AP just for the shits and giggles, I should say. 700 alpha from that, 136 penetration. So I suppose he's loading one of those just in case he comes across a heavy armored vehicle, but normally you just don't need to. And the skin, by the way, that comes from Jazz. It was the Marvin the Martian skin. We do have other skins, one that was created by Sir Rusty, which is Jazz's dad, and that one is the Stalin skin, which has got a picture of Stalin on one side and a red star on the other. Well, I think that EBR is headed this direction. Yep, I reckon that's where he'll be seen next. And no, he went back the other way. Okay, he obviously didn't want to meet our guys on the west side of the map. He's making another run, or is he going to pop out? Remember, the shell velocity is quite low because it's an HE round, and that means that if you're firing at long range like this, you do need a target that's stationary really to make a big difference. It's quite unusual for a heavy tank to be sitting up here. They normally go into the town, and they're normally engaging each other right across that market square. The enemy KV-2's down there, so's the KV-1S. But Razor's decided not to do that. He's going to sit out here. And he says, I hate this map with a passion. I wish it had been blacklisted. Well, there's the EBR. He managed to get up on this side of the map, but unfortunately that round did not hit him. It hit the ground. It's because of that slow shell velocity that shooting at long range really in this tank is not advised. I mean, not unless you're going to shout Stalin before you fire it and hope that his cold dead hand will reach up out of the grave and guide the shell to the target. That's what Jingle says. In actual fact, it's really not a long range weapon, but there again, neither is the SU-152, and that's got the same gun. So if it's perfectly okay for a tank destroyer to shoot at long range, it's okay for this tank to do it. We've only lost one shell so far, but we have lost a few more hit points than the enemy has. Quite a lot more, less. Quite a lot more, I should say, not less. So, yes. The enemy does have a heavy tank over on the west side as well. KV-85. We can't see anything else to shoot at. Another thing you might notice here is the slow traverse of this gun. Yeah, look at that shell velocity, so slow. You could have dialed that one in. I should say dialed it in, phoned it in, because he knew it was going to drive straight past, but you just can't get the shell on target at this long range. And in fact, actually, you're in grave danger of hitting one of your own team, because they might drive back into the shell by mistake. KV-85's over a ridgeline, so we're not going to get a shot on him here. But the Arty did. Well, it was a good try, but didn't work. And now we've got targets we can hit, and unfortunately we're not loaded. KV-1 goes into full view, went around the outside. Now we've got targets we can shoot at. M4 improved. Oh yes, he gets one at last. Only 17 hit points, but it was a long range kill, and they are well, more fun to watch. There's that EBR again. Very difficult to hit them when they're moving so quickly, but that one isn't moving quickly. And he just caught the rear of him, but we were seen by the KV-1S on the enemy team. He tried to shoot us, but he failed, and we only took some damage in our tracks, that's all. But the enemy has killed all of our guys in the town, which is bad news. What a kill! That one he got absolutely right. Enough lead to take him out. Now, I think we're going to see a KV-1S any second. There he is. And that's a nice hit on his engine bay for 296. And he's gone. Okay, our teammate has actually got in the way of our shot on the M10, and we just took a round from the M44. It was only a near miss though on the track. Now, are we going to see there's an IS and a KV-2? This is a tier 6 game. Doesn't look as if they've come out the city, but we lost all our guys on the west side. Oh, KV-2 went back to their own cap. And unfortunately, their Stug 3 just killed our Achilles. So it's 5 versus 5. We can't see the IS, but he might make an appearance. That's an Arty round. The M44 is still trying to hit us. And he obviously aimed for where we were last seen. Go behind the griller. Another round went in behind us. Somebody asked the other day what that sign up on the hill says. It's Miri Mir, and that means world peace, or actually peace world in Russian. I suppose it's ironic, yes. Now we're waiting for the Jagdpanzer 4 to get in position. He might be able to spot that M10 for us. That is, of course, presuming he doesn't get spotted. Hummel's sitting right up in the southeast corner of the map. It's a little bit vulnerable out there, but, well, tried a speculative shot. And the others are saying they will come. Let's have a quick look over in this direction. I have the feeling the M44 gave up trying to fire at this previous position simply because he wasn't getting any results. Seems I should be talking about something else whilst we're waiting for the enemy to appear. Of course, the origin of the KV-2 is from the Winter War, the war between the Soviet Union and Finland. And that came about because, well, Stalin wanted to expand north and decided he would help himself to some of Finland's land, and he actually demanded that they hand over certain amounts of their territory, and the Finns naturally said no, we're not going to. And so Stalin went to war with the Finns, and this did end up being rather costly for Stalin in many ways, because he lost a huge number of tanks which the Finns just literally stole. They went in the middle of the night, they got hold of these tanks and drove them away. In fact, in one case, in one regiment, Soviet regiment of tanks, they stole half the entire regiment in tanks one night, and they came back the next night and they stole the other half. And the commander of that tank regiment was executed on the spot by the Soviet secret police, the NKVD. Wasn't very nice for him. Of course, the KV-2 is basically a KV-1 with a huge 152mm gun mounted on top of it, and they needed to do that because they needed to have something that could knock down the Finnish bunkers, because the Finnish built these concrete emplacements, very difficult to destroy. And about the only thing that really worked very well on these concrete bunkers was masses of HE. So they would fire these guns and literally demolish the bunkers. It didn't work out so practical during the Second World War though, unfortunately. Although one of these tanks was very good at Messini. That's an IS-con. One of these tanks held up an entire division of German tanks at the village of Racini, but eventually the crew were killed. They received huge numbers of hits from the Germans, but they took out a large number of enemy tanks, and he's just taken out the KV-2 now as well, and the guerrillas said nice to that one. There's only 3 enemies remaining, an M10, the Stug 3G and their M44. And I think our M10 has been emboldened by those 2 kills. Part of the problem that the KV-2 had was really the force of that gun. There's the M10 down. Stug's probably back at their cap. Yeah, it's a pretty big and heavy gun, and you can see why it's got such a big turret, because it is a big gun. It has to be serviced by the crew, 2 loaders I believe, and I think the biggest problem was that you had to put the tank on a level surface if you were going to shoot it or even traverse the turret. Otherwise it just couldn't turn the turret around because this thing was so heavy, and so it was a bit impractical as a tank. And although one of them did make a valiant defense at the village of Racini, in a tank battle it would be absolutely it would be useless. It would lose because it would get completely wiped out by the enemy just circling around it. And of course, because it had to fire from a flat position, there weren't many places that it could actually fire from. I know you can shoot even from a tank hull down position on a ridgeline with this tank, but not by much. But you could. But in actual fact, you couldn't do that in the real world, because you needed to be on a flat surface in order to turn the turret and aim at a target. It really normally only fired directly forward. Well, there's only one tank left. It's the M44, and it looks to me like Razor is going after him. We didn't see the death of the Stug, but somebody got him. And that's the countdown. Yeah, we haven't got enough time to cap out, folks. We need somebody else in the cap. Quick. The M10's making a dash towards the cap. But if we don't get somebody in the cap, we won't win this one. We need somebody extra in the cap. And they're marking it. They're saying, hurry, hurry. And the M10 saying I can only go so fast. It's pointless for the KV-2 to do it because, well, he's too far away. But the M10, he's dashing to try and get back in time. He might be able to make it. He's close. It's very close. It's going to be a fine run thing. And we've got 2 in the cap and now we can win. God, that was close. And they've done it just in time. That was a close one. And here's the end of battle result. Well, it's a third-class tanker for who is it? Razor, sorry, Razor 14150 in the KV-2R, the premium KV-2. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 5 in the end, 1 short of getting a top gun, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 10 in that one. And I suppose he did want that last kill to get the top gun, but sadly it evaded him in this case. He did get some lovely shots though to kill the enemy. He got a very quick and easy kill on the IS as he ran towards the cap. And he also got a lovely shot at long range on the KV-2. And it was a very well timed shot because the guy was moving backwards and he timed the shell so that it went straight into the engine deck and took him out. Win 8 for that game, 2527, which is not bad. It's Unicum standard. Let's have a good team score. Well, he almost got the highest damage on his own team, but the high damage overall went to the IS with 1,912 hit points of damage. Then came the Tiger 1 with 1,351, and then came Razor with 1,315. When it came to kills though, he got the highest number, 5 kills. Then there was 3 kills for the Jagdpanzer, 4 the IS and the KV-2. And when it came to base XP, it was Razor again with 763, 597 to the Setter, 560 to the Jagdpanzer 4, who also managed to get an Invader medal. He fired 11 shots, got 6 direct hits, 2 penetrations and 4 splash. Damage of 1,315 hit points, of which 1,103 were at more than 300 meters. He received 3 hits from the enemy. All 3 were non-penetrations. 2 hits by way of splash damage though. The Arty did try to get him. 390 of hit points, of 390 hit points of damage blocked. And he damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 5. Did 1 hit point of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 35,505 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply and consumables, he actually took away 6,343 credits profit. He earned 1,144 XP, got 4,580 experience points from completing the mission, 344 because this is a premium vehicle, and took away 6,068 experience points altogether. So he actually says best sniper. Well, it was at long range, and really, to be honest, I didn't think he would actually do so well shooting at long range in the KV-2R, but he actually does have a lot of practice at this, and yes, he did get some nice shots, not only on the west side, but also that shot on the KV-2. That was a real peach, that one. So, well, congratulations for winning that battle. It's just a pity, though, it was so nearly a draw at the end, but there was no way you were going to be able to get to the cap, so it was totally understandable. I suspect it was that M10 was also after that M44, and therefore he drove out without thinking that, yes, you do need to be in the cap in order to win. So, if you enjoyed that battle, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification button so you get alerted when the new video goes up. And thank you for watching.